Upfront and Outspoken with Bob Williams. If you love the Constitution,
man is not free unless government is limited.
If you love freedom,
as government expands, liberty contracts.
If you believe in personal responsibility, if you believe America is still the greatest nation on earth, then get ready for an experience you'll never forget. This is Upfront and Outspoken. Here's your host, Bob Williams.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue.
And welcome back. This is Upfront Outspoken. Of course, I'm your loudmouth host, Bob Williams, with you here on this Friday. On the phone with me, and he's called me out because I always crucify his last name, is James Napier. I'm hoping I finally got it right. I doubt it, but what can I say? Hey, James, welcome to the program again.
Top of the morning to you, Mr. Bob. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well, and I want to bring you on, and I want to get the latest. Give me the latest updates about what is going to be happening tomorrow.
Well, first of all, I would like to say happy birthday to Miss Marcia Campbell and thank her for allowing us to share the story this morning at WSM 650, home of the Grand Ole Opry. It was a wonderful opportunity, especially on her birthday. But the facts of Saturday is going to be a very, I guess you could say, it's a gathering of some boys to make the noise down on DeMond Bruin Avenue, if you will, because this little convoy that's coming together at 12 o'clock Saturday. We're going to start registration then, and it's going to be donation only. And if they got $1, they got $1,000. Whatever they want to donate, we're going to gather. And at 2 p.m., we're going to pull out and we're going to circle the city. And then I'll just leave the rest of the story to breaking news, if you will, because, you know, that last part may very well put me behind bars. And if so, I hope y'all got enough listeners, somebody come get me out. But I plan to make a statement that will be known. Transverse myelitis, people have not really heard about it, but I feel as though there's probably been a lot of people that have been misdiagnosed over the years because people don't know what it is, because, lack of funding or lack of equipment. I'm not sure, but, I had someone tell me yesterday, and it was probably one of the best statements I've heard since I've been in Nashville this week. He said, James, I'm real proud of you, because, there's a certain artist that's been in Nashville for 10 years, and he had to go to L.A. to be heard on The Voice. And I'm not going to call him out, but he's a friend as well. So I'm just going to simply say that this gentleman told me yesterday, it's nice to know we don't have to go to L.A. to have a voice, because the voice is coming from the roots of Nashville on this deal, the ones that brought the true dirt road life into the days of Nashville. We've got some true players of yesterday and still kicking like a 50-pound chicken living in the back shadows of the dirt road. They're coming out to make a point known. This family that's taking a stand for Jessica, people will remember this day. And, the media deal, that situation yesterday where we had the bus donated and dedicated by a trucker charity, every news station told me yesterday morning, by 6:15, every one of them had done chimed in and said, we'll be there, we'll be there, we'll be there. At 11:30, they started chiming in saying they wouldn't be there. Please send pictures through email. Well, y'all know I'm not an email type of person, so I don't think it really but one station got pictures, so I got tied up, and I apologize, but everybody dropped the ball yesterday, in my opinion, in media, because they tell me breaking news. I don't know when the last time somebody got a daggum tour bus given to them in their honor to go around the world and take care of children and families, whether it be wounded warriors or truck drivers or just families that need to go from one place to another, thanks to truckercharity.org and the new bus called Jessica that has been made possible. So we're going to take that convoy around town, and then at 3 o'clock we're going to start a concert down at the Doghouse Saloon on DeMond Bruin. You have to excuse my southern term. I don't know how to pronounce it. But We've got entertainers such as legendary Chris Gantry. And, you know, I've got his book here in front of me, and I feel like I should probably quote this, just so people know who Chris Gantry is. I'm looking at a quote here from Miss Dolly Parton, and it says, Chris Gantry has always been one of my favorite writers, as well as one of my favorite people in the industry. I'm glad he said nice things about me in this book. I'm sure you will love it as well. And there's quotes from Chris Christopherson and many other greats, but we've got people like Mr. Gantry, Mila Mason. She just released a new single, and they're actually dedicating it to Jessica, called Run Like a Girl. And, you know, we've got people like Mr. Guy Nix, Ben Potter, Sean Hamilton, Michael McGregor, Jimmy Parker. Really, there's going to be a bunch in there. I did get word yesterday from my associate, Mr. Eric Mellencamp of Rocket Tone Records. He's unfortunately not going to be able to be with us. He's had a few acts pop up in Dallas that have got to be handled, and I respect that. But he did tell me yesterday that I would have a very special guest coming in about the 6 or 7 o'clock hour. And I'm not going to release his name because that's going to be a surprise to the ones that do follow this story and show up. The rest of them, since they're not going to be about it, they can just read about it, because there's some players coming. This is like, I had a lawyer, in fact, and I'm not going to say his name, in Nashville tell me this past week that I am a man that has been known for his exaggerations. I don't feel that way. You know, the problem is maybe real don't recognize real, but the ones that do know me, we fixing to show out. This can all be about transverse myelitis, the awareness of the situation, and the introduction of a certain spokesman coming forward to take on this disease. And I can't think of no one better to take it on than this certain young lady. But, you know, there's been so many things happening since I got to Nashville. Mr. Lance Wood calls me and tells me he needs me in Nashville because the bus is there and it's waiting on me for Jessica, and we ended up naming it Jessica. So, you know, the bus, the convoy, the music, the friends, I can personally tell you, I know for a fact there are a lot of motorcycles coming out of Alabama, a lot of them coming out of Georgia, as well as West Virginia. So at the end of the day, I kind of go back to what you say. How can so many people out of state be willing to travel so far just because I asked them to and they recognize real?
Exactly.
Why is it at Nashville? I mean, I'm very honored that Miss Marcia picked her birthday to release this story. And I'm glad Miss Shannon at Channel 5 has done what she's done, as well as WKRN. But time to kick it in gear, because it's about to make a statement that I promise national news is going to know about what's fixing to happen. And it's probably going to be better if they just come on in there, do what's got to be done, and understand. I've had people tell me that they're going to be there. You know what? I was told they were going to be there yesterday. So I'm just going to leave it at, I hope so, because there's a couple pit bulls around, and I just let it fly, and let's do what's right.
Well, the thing is I want to once again remind everybody of the two major events that are going on, both tomorrow. The first one, registration starts at 12 noon. If you have a two-wheeler, four-wheeler, 18-wheeler, I want you to be at the TA truck stop at 111 North 1st Street, right next door to the stadium. Registration is at noon, roll out 2 p.m. Let's make this convoy circle the entire Nashville. I want everybody to be there. The second one, of course, is at the Doghouse Saloon that James mentioned. Great country artists, Jimmy Parker, Jimmy Payne, Chris Gantry, Mila Mason, oh boy, Sean Hamilton, Doug Briney, and the list goes on and on and on. Again, that is at the Doghouse Saloon. That starts at 3 p.m., you know, all benefiting Jessica and transverse myelitis. And you know, if you people don't get out, and support this, you're going to regret it, because this could happen to you. And I ask everybody this, each and every day I get on here. If it happened to your child, wouldn't you want people like James, people like Nashville pulling together, people that have come from all around the country pull together? My question has been, why hasn't Nashville media focused on a Nashville native girl? There are many Jessicas in the world, but let's focus on Nashville's Jessica. I want everybody to get involved, because if you don't, like I said, don't you dare come knocking on my door and ask me for my help if you don't help this poor girl now. James, you are doing a great job, and I am so sorry that Nashville media, in some respects, has let you down, especially when it comes to something this important. And I'll do, damn well, I'll do whatever I can to fire them up there. Yeah, you're on.
Yeah, this is indeed true. I'll put it like this. I've done about all I'm going to do about reaching out. When I made my trips last night to John A's, over to Music City Bar and Grill, Nashville Palace, Tootsie's, I had affiliates hitting the Tin Roof, better part of this event, telling the words. When you got people like Chaz Wesley on stage, and there's so many people that were in Nashville last night telling the infrastructure. Since media couldn't do it, we had a couple brothers that do the deal on the stage all over town, talking about it. And I was invited to several places, and I showed it several places, and every one of them did that deal. And we got a lot of people within the infrastructure of country music to be knowledgeable what's going on.
Okay, I just got this in. I just got this moments ago. You know who I'm talking about here. Mr. Alan Ladd, okay?
Yeah.
Now, this is what I just got. He said, and I quote, he says, I quote, "I wanted to let you know that Plateau music producer Tony Mantor was so moved by Jessica's story and benefit that he is going to produce a 5-song CD of Jessica's music with an A-list of Nashville musicians for free. She will have an EP that can be sold to help the cost of her rehab bills, etc." That's direct from Mr. Ladd. Just came in from Plateau music producer Tony Mantor that he, for free, is going to produce a 5-song CD of Jessica's music.
Yes, sir. And that right there is what you call fine networking to the infrastructure of the biggest circle in the world coming together. That is, when it comes together, it can be as small as the head of a pencil. It is the most beautiful thing to be part of such a great circle, because I reached out to Mr. Ladd about 30 minutes before we went on air. And then I got on the radio and listened, and he told me to check my text message, but I wasn't going to get off the air. So I'm glad to know he did go ahead and get in touch with Mr. Tony to clear that. But as well as that little situation right there, I don't want to confuse that offer that came yesterday, as well as you just heard publicly today. The original offer of Miss Jessica Shaneberg, she still will go into a studio, and she will record a CD, one song, or however that studio that comes about. And I'm not going to name the names yet, but when that situation happens, that you're talking about two different recordings here. You're talking about a world renowned in the entertainment industry, Mr. Tony. Everybody knows who he is, and when he says he's bringing an A-list to the table to do this deal, I can promise you the roots of country music, the true voices of what music is about, they're fixing to speak, and it's going to be on behalf of Jessica. And I may be wrong. I'll let Mr. Tony come in here next week as one of the quote-unquote entertainment organizers, my co-producer, if you will, as well as Mr. Eric Mellencamp. I'll let Mr. Ladd come in here and tell you for sure, but I believe the figures he told me is we're going to sell this situation for like $12. And the only thing that's going to come out of that is, and we were really going to do it $10, but from what I understand, we're going to do it $12 because that covers the $2 cost of everything that's got to be done as far as the printing and the whatever the actual manufacturing. But that's $10 per every CD sold of a top A-list entertainment coming to the table for this young lady. $10 goes straight to that family for personal obligations because the single dad has left his job and basically left everything behind to stand by his daughter's side. As well as I'm being told that there's going to be a non-profit organization started to help Miss Jessica help others, just as well as what Trucker Charity stepped up to do with the bus. We're going to help make her own 501c3 so she can begin to join the team that has helped her. She's going to help others through the inspiration that she has showed us, because we are not in any way, shape, or form trying to, we are inspiring her through our hearts and our work, but honestly, from what I seen yesterday on that bus as we waited on the media to show up that never did, every one of them said it. Mr. Gantry said it best of all. He said, you know, that young lady, she's my hero. And this is the same man Chris Christopherson said he wishes that he could ride as well as Mr. Gantry. Mr. Gantry looked at me and said that she's his hero. So she's the inspiration of all this, and she's the reason that all these people around the world, just as well as the true blue roots of country music that helped pave that dirt road's life is still there. And they're fixing to come about, be known, and people don't know. I had a young lady, in fact, I'm not going to call her name, but she represents a certain conglomerate of music, and I could say the name Chris Gantry, I say the name Jimmy Payne, and I'm Miley Mason. I don't know them. They don't mean nothing. They're not household names. Got news for you, and I'm going to say it one time. Young lady, if you don't know who Chris Gantry is, Miley Mason, or even people like Guy Nix, you know, you need to use the technology and Google it, because you're talking about the people that made country music.
I agree. In fact,
and the Bushes.
You know, I agree. We're going to be having Guy on here next week, and we're looking forward to it. You know, and we've only got a few minutes left, and I once again I want to get this message out. If you are in Nashville, or please make an effort to be there. 2 events going on, all in conjunction with each other, all to help Jessica Shainberg walk again, and the awareness to transverse mellitus. The first registration is at noon, so if you have a 2-wheeler, 4-wheeler, 18-wheeler, you're anywhere near Nashville, be at the TA truck stop at 111 North 1st Street, right next to the stadium. Again, registration is at noon. The convoy rollout is at 2 p.m. You know, just make a donation, become part of it. Secondly, 3 p.m., Doghouse Saloon, right there in Nashville. The festivities of a lifetime, a huge benefit concert for Jessica. Chris Gantry, Jimmy Payne, Jimmy Parker, Sean Hamilton, Mila Mason, Guy Nix, and the list goes on and on and on, are going to be there, all showing their support for Jessica. And it's my understanding, and James can correct me, though Jessica cannot be there in person, she will be there via Skype. So she will see what is going on. So everybody be there. Make the donation. Make the Doghouse Saloon and Nashville rock. You know, you've got to be there. And I want to thank everybody that is being a part of this. James for spearheading it, and especially for the most courageous, vivacious, talented, intelligent young lady I have seen in years. And I'm talking about Jessica Shainberg herself. Her dad, he does a superb job, single parent, raising such a girl. Boy, I'll tell you what, this family needs all of us. And I encourage you, make a donation, go to gofundme.com/KH, the number 8 RSK, or go to any U.S. bank anywhere in America. Go to the cashier. Tell her you want to make a donation to the Jessica Shaneberg Fund. Again, that's at any U.S. bank. And make a donation to the Jessica Shaneberg Fund. Now, we've only got about 2 minutes left here, James. And I know you are so ramped up in this. Can you leave all of our listeners in the next minute and a half with a special message that you want to get across?
Yeah, you know me, I probably can. So here we go. I'll throw up my hand and say it clear, far and near. Here's the facts, Jack. You're either going to be about it or you're going to read about it. Revelations 8:5 talks of an angel that brings forth the truth, that starts a bolt of lightning and an earthquake to tremble. My earthquake I bring shall be a convoy. We're circling this town in honor of Red Sabine and the great song, Teddy Bear. There's something coming down this weekend, and I promise you, I am very honored to be able to say thank you to so many people. But at the end of the day, it's that dirt road life. It may be covered with paved road, but at the end of that paved road, where that construction zone's at, there's still a dirt road to keep right on keeping on. You watch what I tell you, and you mark my by God word. I'm very proud of the people that have stepped up because of a little speed down moment here and there. But I would like to say this before we go. Marcia Campbell, WSM 650, Mr. Michael Harvey, Smoking Glass, Tent and Vinyl, Jessup, Georgia, Miss Kelly Floyd of Steel Horse Hauling of Jessup, Georgia, and Georgia Clark, the founder of Dirt Road Life of Jessup, Georgia, as well as everybody else, especially, let me clarify, Mr. Guy Nix, one of the first people that he kind of got upset with me at first, but then he recognized what I was saying, and he made one phone call. And when that one phone call was made, things began to happen from the infrastructure. There's some players coming to the table, and if you don't know what recognizing real means, everybody that knows me knows what I mean when I say this. You either be about it, you damn well read about it. But I promise you, watch this.
And I agree. I agree with you 100% because this is something, if you don't feel the ground shake in Nashville, something's wrong. But I got news for you, Nashville. The quake is coming, and it all starts tomorrow. Thanks once again, James, for coming on, and I am definitely going to be bringing you back next week. I mean, I've got a lot of artists already booked in, but I am going to get you in next week, to kind of give us a complete wrap-up of what happened. Is that all right with you?
That's fine, but I would like to clarify one thing. You keep saying that word spearhead. God did this, and God allowed me to have the right people on speed dial. There is no I in team, and I'm backed by one hell of a team. I'm bringing the boys.
Well, you may have let God spearhead it, but God made you the voice. How's that?
No, we about to walk it out, baby.
All right. Thanks again, James, for being here. What can I say? James is a great guy, and you have got to be there. Be there, be square. If you're not there, guess what? I'm going to have you call out.